So I made a video explaining about some of the different approaches I have when I separated a kid's class from an adult class. Well, some of the things I didn't touch on is how, most people from the outside, they're going to, whenever they see a karate class, it's going to be full of kids, because most commercial schools, 90% of their revenue comes from junior or young students. That's just the way it works. I know I have a 8-to-1 ratio, of interest myself. It's a lot easier for parents to talk their kids into going than to talk themselves into going. But what I did was I separated it, and I kind of explained a little more about that. So I could see why someone from the outside would think, karate is kind of a kid's thing. Well, that's just the way it breaks down. It doesn't mean that the system isn't good. It just means that they have a curriculum that they follow. And to me, it's a lot easier to separate the kids' class. I try to make sure it's fun and they gain confidence, and that the parents know they're learning how to be safe and not get abducted. And then the adult class has all the reasons that the rest of us do it, which is self-improvement, precision, learning how to defend yourself better, and just, overall health benefits. Those aren't the same selling points that you do, when you're trying to get a kid to, a younger student to do karate. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope I explained without being too long-winded. So we had a good discussion, or there was a discussion going on about kids karate and how some of the martial arts have gotten a reputation of not being very effective for actual fighting, and they've gotten what we term as a kind of a bad rap. I think that what I did was I separated my kids program from the adult back when my kids were small. In the kids, we focus on learning basic blocks and building up fundamentals. They do a lot of escaping from adults grabbing them, stomping, kicking, how to fall without getting hurt, how to do a basic hip throw and other throws. And I even show them how to slip punches, doing some boxing drills. And it's mainly focused on self-defense, escaping, windmills and things like that. And it doesn't get too technical in a lot of those. However, right from the start, they don't start learning actual kata until like 3 belts up into green belt. Then I start showing them the first kata. But from day one, when they do the kata, they're learning movements, and then they're having someone grab them from each direction, and they do the motions of the kata against an actual attacker. This actually helps them get their feet placed steady, and teaches them what they're going to have to do when someone grabs them. So right from the start, we're doing the Oyo right from the kata. Now, if they complete the kids program, then they have learned the kata that the adults learn all the way up to green belts, which happens to be Wanshu. And by then, they're usually teenagers, and they're ready to transfer into the adult class. So now the focus changes. Now they're older and bigger. During the kids class, we don't punch them and hit them. When we're doing the escapes, we act like we're going to hit them. We make them block. But in the adult class, so they make a transition from theoretical foundation building that would help them if someone grabs them and they're not expecting it to break free, no doubt. And then they go into sparring with people that are trained, that they have to earn everything sparring that they get. Now, we still use control, and we don't give each other concussions and stuff. However, after we spar a 3-minute round, a lot of times you do feel like just laying on your back being exhausted. By the time they get to black belt in the kids class, so I call it a junior black belt, they pretty much know the foundation of a green belt in the adult, but now they have to start applying it. So, and like I said, you start out with a compliant opponent, then you go to one that's non-compliant, that's trying to fight, and then the third phase would be to try to actually get that throw or that arm lock or the combination in on a opponent that is at your level or close and is completely not trying to let you do that. This is doubly hard because they also are learning what these combinations are, so they're watching for them. So a lot of times, the combinations you're learning, you can defend twice as well against that technique than applying it. So that's kind of a conundrum, but it's a good conundrum. It means if someone tries to grab you and twist your arm behind your back, you're going to know exactly what they're doing and how to kick and get rid of them. You're going to know how to get out of it almost automatically. We do cover that, of course. So yeah, the focus in the adult karate class is with applying it to an opponent that's sparring full speed. We're still using some control, but we do bump each other around. You know, you're going to have that. And the kids, I'm not having them taking a lot of hits or damage, but they're building a strong foundation in case of emergencies. But they are completely two separate curriculums. The adult one is more like what we see in traditional martial arts with your teiwaza, kariwaza, oyo, bunkai, free sparring, throws, falls, wrist locks, joints, control. The only thing I don't do is the one steps and stuff. Instead, we break it down with the kata and someone coming in different directions with your kata instead of a separate one steps. And then instead of practicing point fighting like for a tournament, it's just a free spar where you're mainly starting out with your good boxing basics, throwing in punches and kicks, and then you notice how you can work in some of the other stuff under certain situations, and I think it kind of all blends together and works pretty well. Anyways, that's my explanation of the focus of the kids class. Anyways, what do you guys think?